Hello and welcome to How's That? I know this edition is going to be special because we're going to talk about Assam. We got to see Riyan Parag break into the Bihu dance from that state after playing a match-winning knock. Was wonderful to watch, and to discuss all that and more from last night is Vijay Lokpally, my friend and colleague with me. Good morning to you, Vijay.
Yeah, good morning. And I don't mind doing the Bihu dance with this young man. I remember watching this dance very first time when I went to Guwahati for a one-day international. But this youngster has absolutely fired up the imagination of so many young cricket fans in this country.
There is no doubt about it, Vijay, that we're going to talk about Riyan Parag for some time because it was not the first time he was playing a match-winning innings. He's done that the last season, and he's repeated that again. And to have come back after being dropped for a couple of games and then playing that big knock for Rajasthan Royals in that upset win over Sunrisers Hyderabad was terrific to watch.
He has just given enough indication that he has the right temperament. I mean, if he is to graduate to play the big league, maybe this season or the next, this young boy has gone through the grooming process very well. Credit to his coaches, credit to the Zonal Cricket Academy of the BCCI, which has worked very hard on him. And he was among the favorites of Rahul Dravid. So I'm not surprised, and I'll be surprised if he doesn't do well now.
And to his father as well for having introduced him to the sport, having played it himself at a fairly high level, the Ranji Trophy for Assam, and then to have allowed this young man to blossom the way he did. I think credit to the father as well, Vijay. But it was wonderful to watch a partnership that he shared with Rahul Tewatia to take the side to victory with an 85-run stand was wonderful to watch. Showed the temperament of both the young lads. It was more about self-belief that we got to see from them yesterday.
Yes, the two young talented cricketers. Obviously, Tewatia has been around for a while. Parag has to make his mark in first class cricket, and they were doing well against the best of some of the talented Indian bowlers who formed attack, except for Rashid Khan. And what a wonderful finish! I mean, it was a very matured chase, and they were always in control.
A lot of people would believe that both the batsmen who were involved in that six-wicket stand were playing because there was nothing to lose. But to me, it was more about believing in themselves. You could actually see it in them, the kind of shot that they played, the kind of maturity that they brought to the table at a very crucial time and took Rajasthan Royals to a very, very important victory. I think there's maturity and self-belief shown through glowingly for me, Vijay.
I mean, more than nothing to lose, everything to gain. And the fact that Tewatia had played a match-winning knock earlier in the tournament helped. And the fact that Parag he has high inspirations to do well and go on to wear the India cap, probably the first one from Assam to do it. So there was enough motivation for both of them, and they did wonderfully well.
For Hyderabad, it was very disappointing that from a winning position, they went on to lose a very close game. It was a tough contest, but these two batsmen really pulled it off for Rajasthan Royals. Hyderabad will be disappointed that they called the shot for bulk of the game and the rug was stolen from under the feet by these two young batsmen.
And that is how it goes. I mean, it can be decided of the last ball also, and it's a lesson for Hyderabad. They should have. I mean, obviously they had sealed the game at what 78 for five. And from there, these two youngsters snatching it away. It speaks well for the fact that the Indian cricket system is very good, very rich, and also a lesson for David Warner that the team has to pull up its socks in the forthcoming matches.
I want to stick a little bit more with Tewatia. The manner in which he took on Rashid Khan, Vijay, was a treat to watch, especially the couple of reverse sweeps that he played, and then the exquisite cover drive, even though it was played in the air, the exquisite shot that he played to show his dominance over the best bowler from Sunrisers Hyderabad.
It was planned, I think. The reverse sweep, it can be a risky shot also. I mean, but he was willing to take the chance, and at that point, nobody would have blamed him for that because he was trying to upset the bowler. Because to do that against Rashid Khan, you have to have a big heart, and he did it beautifully. And yes, the shot was a bit in the air, cover drive, but that's his pet shot. Unless he's swinging the ball over the fence on the leg side. So Tewatia has beautifully justified the tag of a match winner now. And in the company of Parag, he's going to trouble bowlers in the remaining matches.
On a day when the foreign stars did not contribute too much, perhaps 26 runs by the top three batsmen, including Ben Stokes, who was playing his first game of the season, to see the Indian talent shine through was wonderful to watch, Vijay.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I mean, watching these young lads because they were doing it against a very experienced lot. I mean, to leave players like Bairstow, Warner, Stokes, and Rashid Khan in the losing camp means a lot, and that's what these two youngsters did last night.
Let's watch what Tewatia had to say about that assault on Rashid Khan. It has to be called an assault.
तो वहाँ पे यही प्लान था कि अगर मेरे एरिया में बॉल आएंगी तो मैं उनके लिए शॉट्स के लिए जाऊँगा। तो पहले 2 शॉट्स रिवर्स स्वीप मैंने जो मारे क्योंकि मुझे फील्ड दिखी वहाँ पे आ गया तो रिवर्स स्वीप पहले मैंने मारा। फिर उसके बाद ओवर एक्स्ट्रा कवर जो शॉट मारा वो बॉल थोड़ा बाहर था तो मुझे लगा वो मेरा शॉट है वहाँ पे मैं मारूंगा तो बैक किया अपने आप को और सक्सेस रहा वो प्लान। 7 ओवर्स में 75 रन चाहिए थे तो मैं रियान को यही बोल रहा था कि जितना डीप हो सकता है उतना ले जाएंगे। लास्ट के अगर 3-4 ओवर में 35-40 रन भी रहते हैं अगर मैं यार तू क्रीज पे क्योंकि उस टाइम तक हम सेट भी हो जाते, अच्छी खासी बॉल भी खेल लेते। तो यही प्लान था कि जितना डीप ले जाएंगे उतना फ़ायदा है हमें और लास्ट के 3 ओवर में हम हिटिंग करके मैच जितना क्लोज ले जा सकते हो उतना क्लोज ले जाने की कोशिश करेंगे।
Well as Tewatia played, the Sunrisers Hyderabad will be disappointed that it did not post a larger score than 160. They had a couple of good batsmen, Warner scoring a 40 plus, Manish Pandey getting a 50 plus, but the runs did not come at a fast clip. Obviously, the slowness of the track, the dual pace of the pitch was a factor, but you have to give credit to the Rajasthan Royals bowlers for having exploited that track really well.
They did exploit the surface, and that is what the game is about now. In the remaining part of the tournament, it will all boil down to how the bowlers are going to exploit the pitches. The wear and tear factor is going to play heavily on the mind of the batsman, who will have to keep making adjustments.
Talking about the slowness of the track, Vijay, let us watch what Hyderabad coach Trevor Bayliss has to say at the end of the game.
When we went out at one of the timeouts, the boys said it was very difficult. It was the ball wasn't coming through; it was stopping in the surface, and we thought if we needed to put on a partnership to at least get to 150, and hopefully if we batted really well, we could get sort of 160 to 165. So we weren't too far off that, but I thought they bowled extremely well on that surface. That it was a little more difficult than the wicket we played on here in the last game. It wasn't quite coming on as that wicket did. Look, if some of the wickets have been really good here, but on the whole, I think they're a little bit slower than what the boys would like. But it's just about adjusting. But it makes it difficult when a team bowls really well on that surface.
From Dubai, where Riyan Parag and Rahul Tewatia played wonderful hand for Rajasthan Royals, let's move to Abu Dhabi's game. They had actually set up a nice evening of cricket for us on Sunday, with Mumbai Indians beating Delhi Capitals by 5 wickets. It was another command performance from Mumbai Indians, even though Delhi Capitals will be disappointed at the way in which he conceded defeat.
Yes, conceded defeat because it was a good game, if you ask me. There was a lot for the bowlers, and the batsmen had to cheer about because the surface offered them a good opportunity to play the shots. And Mumbai Indians, I think, made the most of it. For Delhi Capitals, the absence of Rishabh Pant definitely ranked.
I think Rishabh Pant's absence also brought in a couple of changes, and Delhi Capitals missed Shimron Hetmyer in the middle. Of course, Rishabh Pant's hitting ability was missing, and because of the fact that you can play only 4 overseas players, they had to drop Shimron Hetmyer, and his firepower was missing in the end.
What a loss. They had to drop the man who performed so well in the previous game, taking those fabulous catches and making those 45 odd runs. And the fact that his cheerful presence on the field means a lot to the Delhi Capitals. But here, I mean, they had to accept it. They tried coping with it, but ultimately the deserving team won.
There was only one positive for Delhi Capitals. Perhaps it has got to do with Shikhar Dhawan getting that half century. But Vijay, they would have expected him to score a little faster, especially after he got to his half century. The final 4 overs produced just 35 runs for Delhi Capitals, and that perhaps made the difference between winning and losing for them in the end.
Very true, Rajaraman. I think Shikhar is concentrating on the fact that he has to be in the middle because he can always accelerate. He has this tendency to suddenly pick top gear, and good. He's got a 50. It should be. It should restore his confidence because he was getting out when looking good, well set for a bigger knock. So this innings should help Shikhar and also should help Delhi Capitals.
Let us watch what Shreyas Iyer had to say at the end of the game.
Yes, it was really important for us to, get Shikhar in form, and obviously the way he paced this innings, it was pretty well, and we needed that 50 from him. And as we know, he's an amazing batsman. He opens for the Indian team as well, so he's got great experience, and also, he can give us a great start in tough situations. So I'm really happy for him as a captain, and also the team would be looking forward for amazing performances from him in the future. Myself and Shikhar, we made a good partnership, and we lost Stoinis' wicket in the 16th over where he was really hitting the ball pretty well, and I think we really slipped on from there and we lost 10 to 15 runs.
Shreyas Iyer makes a very valid point about losing Stoinis at a crucial time. That is when you would have expected Shikhar Dhawan to step up the pace a little bit. But I guess, Vijay, I can understand why Shikhar was not able to get going. The heat of the afternoon did get to him a little bit. Also, he was not in the biggest of scoring forms. For him to have played through the 20 overs and then ensure that Delhi got to a decent score was big. Perhaps he was hamstrung by the fact that there was stifling heat in the afternoon.
And also, Rajaraman, if you remember, Stoinis making the mistake of running to a misfield or a fumble. He should have left that call to Shikhar Dhawan because Shikhar would have been running to the danger end.
No, and Stoinis saw the ball nestle with Surya Kumar Yadav. Of course, there was a fumble, but the ball did not go too far away. Stoinis saw the fact that the ball was in his control. Stoinis saw the fact that the ball was still in Surya Kumar's control, as did Shikhar Dhawan, and Shikhar raised his hand, but I think by that time, Stoinis was not able to apply the brakes and had come too far down the track to be able to return. Against the Mumbai Indians attack, which is pretty world-class as far as the fast bowling component is concerned, Delhi Capitals did not seem to have a plan against the spinners, especially against Krunal Pandya. He came off pretty well, bowling his 4 overs quite economically and picking up wickets as well.
Yeah, Krunal Pandya is a brave bowler. I mean, he's very, very underrated. And you look at the fact that he comes in, bowls in power play, and he has no signs of anxiety on his face when he gets the ball. He's there. He looks one look at the field and into his stride. So I like this bowler a lot.
Happy the way I bowled today. Again, my strength has always been varying the pace, and I was able to execute really well overall. And obviously you have to see the batsman's strength as well and the situation also, what they are going to do. So I guess overall happy the way I bowled today. We bowled really well as a unit, especially in power play as well. We got the early breakthrough, and whenever you're in a T20 format, when you get that early breakthrough, the pressure is more on the opposition. And yeah, overall I guess we bowled really well. as a unit, fast bowlers as well, especially in the death. We didn't concede that many runs. And in between, I guess, Chahar also bowled really well. So overall, it was a very good team effort.
I think one of the big moments of the game was when Shreyas Iyer carved him over extra cover for 4 and then pulled a short ball straight to the fielder at the deep mid-wicket fence. I think that was a magical moment as far as Mumbai Indians bowling is concerned. Also, Rahul Chahar, he bowled his overs quite economically. I think the real difference was in how the Mumbai Indian spinners tied down the Delhi Capitals batsmen, whereas Ashwin and Akshar Patel were not able to achieve that against the Indian batsmen from Mumbai Indians.
Yeah, Akshar and I mean, if you look at Ashwin, they will have a bigger role to play in the coming matches. And Krunal Pandya, yes, and Chahar, we have seen he loves to attack. He has no big reputation as such, so he is trying to establish himself. And if he's in the process learning a few lessons, teaching a few lessons, but I think the spinners did their part.
Quinton de Kock, of course, played a beautiful knock at the start of the innings for Mumbai Indians when they were chasing to victory. His half century was as crucial as Surya Kumar Yadav's, Vijay.
Yes, his half century, it was in keeping with his reputation to play some outstanding shots. I mean, you look at how he gets into position. But I was very impressed by the fact that Quinton de Kock gave the start, and Surya Kumar Yadav is sticking and showing that his innings in the previous match was not a one-off thing. He's there to stay, and he's going to serve this team very well in this tournament.
I think the kind of confidence that Mahela Jayawardene and Rohit Sharma have given Surya Kumar Yadav by giving him that number 3 spot and trusting him to take Mumbai Indians to good scores every time is paying off. The manner in which he took on Ashwin, especially the sweep shot that he played against him, was wonderful to watch. Also a stamp of authority that he established over a very, very senior bowler.
There is, I think, the stamp of Mahela, because most of the Sri Lankans, Rajaraman, if you see, they played the sweep amazingly well. I mean, I remember players like Arvind De Silva and Ranatunga. The first ball they would come and play. They won't mind playing the sweep as if they've been well settled. So that is a good. It's very clear that Mahela is doing a very good job.
Delhi Capitals did stage a minor comeback, but they had a very, very large hill to climb. And Ishan Kishan and Krunal Pandya ensured that Mumbai Indians got home quite comfortably in the end.
Mumbai Indians was never in fear of losing, because they had it under control, and they have depth in the batting lineup. So we saw it last night.
Before we turn our attention to tonight's game between Kolkata Knight Riders and Royal Challengers Bangalore, Vijay, let's take this question from Mihir Shah, who is from North Stand Gang, Mumbai.
Hi sir, this is Mihir from North Stand Gang. My question to you today is, in this year's IPL, we have seen a lot of batsmen, the opening batsmen particularly, having a lot of dot percentage in their scoring. So this hampers the chase as well as while setting up the score. What do you think the reason for this might be? And I just want to put up one small question to you again, and that is, what are your views on the youngster Riyan Parag? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mihir. And thank you to the North Stand Gang for being consistent with its questions, one that brings the best out of us. This is a great question, Mihir. Why are there so many dot balls, especially by the opening batsmen? I think you have to give credit to 2 things. One is to the fact that the fast bowlers have learned to bowl the right areas. And 2, the nature of the tracks are changing now. You can see them get slower. They are getting tired. You're no longer going to get those 200 plus scores in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. And bowlers have exploited this. And then the batsmen have to find their creativity. By the time they're able to judge the nature of the track, they have played a few dot balls already. You will get to see a lot of this. There will be a challenge before the openers to quickly assess the pitch and then get scoring. I don't think teams are really worried about playing too many dot balls, because the other side is playing just as many.
I think you have said it very nicely, and the fact that the teams have now come to understand each other very well. We are now getting into the second half of the tournament, so scoring runs or getting wickets is going to be equally competitive.
Tonight's game also will be competitive, Vijay. Don't you think? Kolkata Knight Riders, which is coming into its own, and Royal Challengers Bangalore, which has done well for itself too. Two very good sides clashing tonight on that small ground in Sharjah.
Yes, we can expect a lot of runs, we can expect a lot of sixes, and the fact that they will be playing the seventh match each, so which means all teams after tonight would have completed 7 matches. So exactly we would be at the halfway stage, and a lot of tactics and a lot of planning in store for both the teams.
Thank you very much, Vijay. On that note, I will take leave of you, and I hope to catch up with you tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you very much. Have a very, very good day.